Welcome back. Today we're diving into something I've been super curious about lately. Using journaling to boost mental clarity. I feel like these days we're just bombarded with information constantly. And it's like harder than ever to just think straight sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Our minds are just like on overdrive.
Yeah.
And that's actually why journaling can be so effective. Think of it like this. Your mind is like a web browser with like 20 tabs open. You're running a video call and downloading a huge file all at the same time.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Journaling, it's like hitting cancel download on those thought spirals and actually processing what matters.
I love that analogy, like hitting the reset button on your brain.
Right.
And speaking of processing what matters, we've got a whole stack of articles here that explore this idea of journaling for mental clarity. I'm really eager to unpack them with you. We've got some are like basic guides, which is great, but others get into some like seriously cool, lesser known benefits of journaling. But before we jump into those, let's start with the fundamentals.
Absolutely. At its core, journaling is like, it's like a mental purge. You're taking all those jumbled thoughts and feelings swirling around inside and putting them down on paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Yeah.
Just 5 minutes, any time of day. And you don't need to be the next Hemingway or anything like that. Just get those thoughts out.
5 minutes. Yeah, anyone can spare that ride. I will admit, though, staring at a blank page used to, like, totally intimidate me. I would literally start with things like, today I saw a cute dog, just to get going,
Yeah.
It's about forming the habit more than anything else.
It really is.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that as you build that habit, you start to experience benefits that go way beyond just feeling less stressed.
Right.
While stress reduction is often what draws people to journaling in the first place, the research we're diving into today, it reveals some remarkable cognitive boosts as well.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. What kind of cognitive benefits are we talking about here? Spill the tea.
Well, multiple sources highlighted how journaling strengthens memory. And not just vague memories either, but like the ability to recall specific details.
What?
In fact, daily journaling for mental clarity cited a study where participants who journaled regularly improved their recall of details from a story by 20% compared to those who didn't.
20%. That's significant. I'm already starting to see why you were so excited to dig into these articles. So it's not just like dumping thoughts. We're actually giving our brains a workout.
Exactly. And it's not just about memory either. Another fascinating area that was highlighted across several articles was the link between journaling and enhanced problem-solving skills.
Okay, that is something I think we could all use a little help with sometimes. How does that work exactly?
So it's like this. When you journal about a challenge you're facing, you're forced to actually articulate it clearly, instead of just letting it swirl around in your mind.
Right.
And once it's down on paper, you can actually examine it from different angles, explore potential solutions that you might not have considered otherwise.
Like you're having a conversation with yourself, but like a much more productive one than usual.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper than that. Several articles actually highlighted how journaling can boost your emotional intelligence.
Okay, so we're not just talking about like organizing to-do lists here. We're talking about like understanding and managing our emotions better.
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
It's about becoming more aware of your emotional landscape. When you journal consistently, you start to notice patterns in your reactions. You can identify triggers that might send you into a spiral.
Oh, yeah.
And then ultimately develop healthier coping mechanisms.
So it's like having like a built-in mood tracker, but you're also developing the skills to actually manage those moods more effectively. I could see how this would be huge, not just in our personal lives, but professionally as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of professional benefits, one article, Overcoming Common Journaling Obstacles, it made a really compelling case for how journaling can actually increase your focus and productivity.
Really? I'll admit, I always thought of journaling as something that's supposed to be like relaxing, maybe even a little like procrastination inducing.
Right.
Not something that makes you more productive.
Right.
How does that work?
Well, it goes back to that mental decluttering we were talking about earlier. Instead of having your to-do list, brilliant ideas, and that thing you need to pick up from the store all competing for space in your head, journaling helps you capture those thoughts on paper, which then frees up your mental bandwidth to focus on the task at hand.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's like clearing out your mental inbox so you can actually focus on what matters. No more feeling like you're constantly juggling a million things at once.
Right.
This is fascinating.
Okay.
So we've got improved memory, sharper problem solving, better emotional regulation, and increased productivity. What else is there?
Well, those are some of the core benefits, but as you kind of dive deeper into the world of journaling, you'll discover all these specific techniques that are designed to amplify these benefits even further. Daily journaling for mental clarity dedicates like a whole chapter to gratitude journaling, for example.
Oh yeah, gratitude journaling.
Yeah.
Focusing on the good stuff, right? I've dabbled in that a bit, but honestly, I've never fully committed. What does the article say about it?
So it highlights how practicing gratitude, even for just a few minutes each day, can significantly shift your perspective.
Yeah.
Instead of fixating on what's going wrong, you're rewiring your brain to focus on the positive, which can have a profound impact on your overall well-being.
It's like that old saying, where attention goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
If you're constantly focusing on the negative, it's no wonder you just feel stuck. But if you're actively seeking out things to be grateful for, even small things, it can really change your entire outlook. What other techniques did they discuss?
Goal setting and tracking within your journal was also highlighted as incredibly powerful. Writing down your aspirations, it not only provides clarity, but also helps you track your progress, which can be incredibly motivating.
Yeah, it's like you're holding yourself accountable, but in this visual, tangible way.
Right.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of positive ground here, but let's get real for a second. Are there any potential downsides to journaling? I mean, no good thing comes without its caveats, right?
You're absolutely right to raise that. Exploring the depths of journaling for mental clarity, hidden insights, and unconventional perspectives actually dives into some potential pitfalls.
Yeah.
One that stood out was the risk of rumination.
Rumination, so dwelling on negative thoughts and experiences,
No.
getting stuck in a mental loop.
Exactly. While journaling can be incredibly cathartic, it can help you process difficult emotions, but it's important to strike a balance. If you find yourself kind of spiraling into negativity, it might be helpful to shift your focus to more solution-oriented prompts, or even just limit your journaling sessions to a specific amount of time.
It's all about using journaling as a tool for self-discovery and growth, not a means of amplifying negativity, which makes perfect sense. It's like anything else. It's about finding that healthy balance, right? But what about the privacy aspect? In this digital age, our data is everywhere. Is that something to be concerned about with journaling too?
You raise a really important point. With digital journaling especially, privacy is paramount.
Right.
The good news is there are ways to mitigate those risks.
Okay, good to know. So what steps can people take to protect their digital journals?
Well, strong passwords are a must, and make sure you choose apps or platforms that offer really robust encryption.
Okay.
And it's always wise, too, to read the privacy policies of any digital journaling apps you use.
So it's like anything else online. Be smart, be cautious. But what about good old-fashioned, pen and paper? That feels pretty secure.
You're right. Physical journals do offer a certain level of inherent privacy. However, if you are concerned about someone snooping, there are creative solutions for that, too.
Oh, what? Tell me more.
You could develop your own, coding system, for example, or write in a language that not everyone around you might understand.
Ooh.
It adds a fun element of intrigue to your journaling practice.
I love that. It's like having a secret code in your journal. That feels very Da Vinci Code. I'm into it. But seriously, it's great to have both options, digital and physical. It's all about finding what feels right for you.
And that's actually something that came up quite a bit in the research. Digital journaling offers convenience, searchability. It even offers features like mood trackers and prompts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But there's something to be said for that tactile experience of pen on paper, too.
Totally. There's a different kind of intentionality there, I think. Plus, who doesn't love a beautiful notebook, right?
Indeed, and there's even some speculation that the physical act of writing might have a stronger impact on memory retention.
Really? Why is that?
Well, the theory is that when you write by hand, you're engaging more of your senses and creating a stronger neural pathway to that information. It's like the difference between quickly snapping a photo of something versus taking the time to actually sketch it out by hand. You're just more present, more engaged in the process.
That makes sense. It's like the difference between skimming a textbook and taking handwritten notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the why, the how, the potential benefits, even some risks to watch out for. But one article went way beyond into almost futuristic territory, AI-assisted journaling, VR journaling. I'm getting serious sci-fi vibes here. What's the deal with those?
Exploring the depths of journaling for mental clarity really went there.
They did.
It's fascinating to consider where technology might take this ancient practice. For example, imagine an AI that could analyze your journal entries for patterns. It could identify recurring themes in your thinking and even suggest, like, tailored prompts or exercises based on your emotional needs.
That's wild. It's like having a personalized therapist built into your journaling app. And VR journaling. What does that even look like?
Picture yourself in a serene virtual environment, maybe a beach at sunset or a cozy cabin in the woods.
Oh, nice.
It could be incredibly immersive, allowing you to fully escape distractions and connect with your inner thoughts and emotions on a deeper level.
Okay, now I'm picturing myself journaling in a virtual reality version of like the Hogwarts library.
Amazing.
Sign me up. But on a serious note, while those possibilities are like super intriguing,
Yeah.
I think I'll stick to my trusty notebook for now. What about you?
As will I. But the key takeaway here is that journaling is a constantly evolving practice. What matters most is finding what works for you, embracing that journey of self-discovery, and seeing where it leads.
It's like choosing your own adventure, but for like your mental well-being. you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of adventures, one final thought for you to ponder. Imagine rereading your journals, but like years from now. The insights you might find, the memories you might unlock.
Oh, wow.
Like a time capsule of your own evolution.
What a powerful thought. All those thoughts and experiences just like captured in time, waiting to offer wisdom and perspective to your future self.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about, the person you'll be then, looking back at where you are now.
Exactly. Could be a source of inspiration, a reminder of how far you've come, maybe even a few laughs along the way. Who knows what hidden gems you might unearth in those pages, right?
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Journaling isn't just about the present moment. It's like an investment in your future self.
It's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for your future self to follow.
Mm.
A way to connect with who you were, who you are now, and who you're becoming. Wow, we've covered so much ground today. From the science-backed benefits to like the futuristic possibilities. We even touched on some practical tips on how to get started.
It's been a fascinating journey, and I think that the key takeaway here is that journaling, at its core, it's about self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's about creating a space for yourself to explore your thoughts and emotions without judgment, without pressure, just you and the blank page.
And who knows, that blank page might just lead you to a place of greater clarity, purpose, and maybe even a few surprises along the way. So to everyone listening, I encourage you, give journaling a try. You might just surprise yourself with what you discover. That's a wrap on our deep dive into journaling for mental clarity. Until next time, happy journaling, everyone.